welcome to another edition of Citizens Movement Radio News. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of November, 2025. I'm Katie Wechuma, ready to bring you the latest news and updates. Here are today's headlines on Citizens Movement Radio News. Rains expose ZANU-PF lies about road habilitation. Mahere rips apart Takwire for preaching about tender corruption. Madzibaba Veshanduko's bail hearing postponed again. Let's take a look at our stories in detail. With heavy rains pounding in most parts of the country, most roads have become impassable. The Bulawayo-Victoria Falls Highway is almost impassable due to pools of mud. The Harare Beit Bridge Road remains incomplete, with traffic being forced to use muddy roads in detours. Most roads in rural areas are impassable in rainy season as they do not have bridges. Opposition official Sam Kondongwe said the heavy rains have exposed ZANU-PF propaganda about progress in road habilitation program. Kondongwe said,
most of the roads in rural areas are impassable in this rain season as they do not have bridges, and this has exposed the ZANU-PF lies about road rehabilitations. The rain season also has exposed a lot of children that are going to school, because most of them they travel as far as 5 kilometers and above in rural areas, and some use roads that pass through rivers. And if you remember a picture that circulated, children crossing a flooded river, which poses extreme danger to the lives of the learning children. So ZANU-PF should up their ante to make sure that we don't lose children in these rivers that are becoming flooding every day, and that the people that are always traveling on roads are saved, their lives are saved by creating a conducive network of roads in Zimbabwe. It is of high importance that we have roads that are good, so that our development is enhanced by the people that will be coming to this nation. ZANU-PF is always lying about road rehabilitation. They lie about almost everything. They are allergic to the truth. So everywhere when they say we are doing a rehabilitation on a road, they just bring their machinery, worn-up machinery, put the worn-up machinery on a site. After a year, they remove those machinery, and they just put some news that we are doing rehabilitation. This should end. We really need new leaders that will put their focus on the livelihood of the citizens of this nation. The leaders that are going to make sure our roads are not death traps, that our roads are worth the matter of our nation. Thank you.
The former Mount Pleasant MP Fatai Mahere has castigated new ZANU-PF Central Committee member Kudakwashi Takwire for preaching about tenders to youths instead of encouraging them to make wealth independently through their work ethic. Her comments follows Takwire's latest rants in Harare, where he suggested that only ZANU-PF members should get government tenders. Mahere said the ruling party is bent on creating a one-party state where corruption is instead of hard work is celebrated. She added that the government must create a conducive environment that will allow young people to make money from their creative ideas and work instead of nepotism and corruption. The bail hearing for popular opposition activist Godfrey Karembera, better known as Madzibaba Veshanduko, was postponed again to 4 December 2025. Today's latest postponement means Madzibaba Veshanduko will remain in pre-trial detention for more than a month. Opposition official Stephen Sarkozy Chuma condemned the postponement, saying it is an attempt to delay justice. Chuma said,
Yes, we are very much concerned about the continued pre-trial detention of Godfrey Karembera, popularly known as Mazibabawe Shanduko. Mazibabawe Shanduko has been in pre-trial detention for over a month now, and he is facing trumped-up charges of inciting public violence following distribution of flyers in Budiro suburb in Harare. But we know that Mazibabawe Shanduko's real crime is to speak against the so-called 2030 agenda. We know that Mazibabawe Shanduko's crime is to speak against the corruption and the Ugandandas. We know that Emmerson Mnangagwa is weaponizing the law to punish all progressive citizens who speak against the so-called 2030 agenda. But the delay today about bail hearing for Mazibabawe Shanduko is a clear case of travesty of justice. We know that justice delayed is justice denied. We hope that on the 4th of December, when the case goes back to the courts, Mazibabawe Shanduko is going to be granted bail, because criminals or people who have been accused of serious criminals like Magaya, who is facing rape and fraud charges, is already out on bail, yet was arrested well after Mazibabawe Shanduko was arrested. We know that criminals like Robert Mugabe Jr., who was convicted of possessing dangerous drugs, is also out. Yet innocent civilians who want good governance like Mazibabawe Shanduko continue to languish and rot in prison. This is unacceptable.
Opposition official Promise Mkwananzi has credited Advocate Nelson Chamisa for denying ZANU-PF a two-thirds majority in parliament in 2023 general elections, despite the irregularities that marred the polls. Mkwananzi said only the late opposition leader Dr. Morgan Tsvangirai and Advocate Chamisa have managed to defeat ZANU-PF in elections since independence. He added that only Advocate Chamisa has the stamina to defeat ZANU-PF if polls were to be held today. Last Saturday, citizens gathered in Chihundura Ward 10 to bid farewell to Amai Chinosia, who had passed away days before. She was one of the founding members of the MDC and a well-known loyalist of President Chamisa. Speaking at the funeral, senior opposition official Amos Chibaya paid tribute to her unwavering dedication to the fight for a free and fair Zimbabwe, a commitment that earned her deep respect within the community. Chibaya described Amai Chinosia as a pillar of courage and conviction. He urged opposition members to remain united, saying that honoring her legacy means pressing forward with renewed determination for change in Zimbabwe. Let's hear part of Chibaya's speech.
kwenda kupostori, hatiri mhosva kwenda kuanglikeni, hatiri mhosva kwenda kuchachi, hatiri mhosva kwenda kumethodist. Ndipata mwatiti hatiri mhosva zvakare kungori kupati anoda ndozvanodi hako. So maya munoona ndatuma pano kuti muzive munhu angada akamira pano haasiri chibaro, angada akamira pano mwana wenyu, mwana wambwembwe Nelson Chamisa muzvamusemushe ndo vangada vari pano vakati vambwembwe vako munomaziva vakauya ndizoka sati natibaya chienda patinosiya kuneradzana nevemhuri vatamisa vakatipundisa rudo, vatamisa vakatipundisa kutiva pamutende. Amen. Mazima kuno kwatundura amadzadiwa mariro mbani kavo vabva kapedza.
About 600 undocumented Zimbabweans and Malawians were yesterday arrested in Mayfair, Johannesburg, South Africa, during a Home Affairs operation. Unlike previous raids, officials reportedly detained children and even pregnant women. Residents in Hillbrow have been urged to stay alert as authorities are said to be planning a similar raid in the area tomorrow. Atos has revealed shocking statistics showing that only 25% of learners reach A-level. Atos Deputy Secretary General Munyaradzi Masiyiwa said only 1 in 4 learners reach A-level and attributed the large number of dropouts to poverty. Masiyiwa said the government must make sure the right to
It's very true and quite disheartening that the education system in Zimbabwe has been promoting a system where only learners from rich families have an opportunity to advance from O level to A level, or even to have that transition from primary level to secondary level. It is only those who have got a rich background that can be able to afford the commodity that we call education, because in Zimbabwe, education is like a commodity. Education is being commodified by the state, which is allowing privatization to take place in the education system. So we are having such statistics where only 25% of learners at O level are able to transit from ordinary level to A level, not because these learners would have failed, but simply because 75% of our learners are coming mostly from poor background, that is from rural areas or from marginalized areas, even in urban areas. We've got a number of urban new settlement in urban areas which do not have schools and which houses very poor people who cannot afford to buy education on daily basis. We see teachers are charging extra lesson. We see there is need for transport for learners to move from one point to another in search of education. So only very few learners are able to afford such a commodity, which is quite shocking, and it is not in the best interest of Zimbabwean citizens. We urge the government to look seriously into this matter so that every learner, every person who is within the borders of Zimbabwe is afforded an opportunity to have access to education.
The Harare West Member of Parliament, Honorable Joanna Mamombe, has called for the conservation of wetlands. Honorable Mamombe, who chairs the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Environment, Climate, Tourism and Hospitality, said conservation of wetlands is the foundations of climate and water security. She condemned local authorities and ZANU-PF land barons for settling people in wetlands. After wrecking last month's polls, Tanzania dictator Samia Suluhu Hassan is not stopping there, as she has reportedly appointed her own daughter and son-in-law to the cabinet. Her daughter Wanu Hafida Amia was appointed the new Deputy Minister of Education, and her son-in-law Mohamed Mchengerwa is the new Health Minister. In Zimbabwe, Emerson Mnangagwa appointed his son Deputy Minister of Finance, while his other son has a senior post in the army. Zimbabwean reggae artist Winky D continues to get recognition outside the country's borders after being nominated for the Best Male Regional Artist at Ngoma Awards National Arts Council of Zimbabwe. The propaganda hitmaker continues to receive recognition outside the country's borders despite ZANU-PF government censoring some of his music at local radio stations. Winky D is popular amongst citizens for his songs that speak against corruption, drug abuse, and unemployment. Let's take a look at our sports news. In a move that has stirred debate in the football fraternity, the Premier Soccer League PSL has announced that they have agreed to suspend relegation at the end of the current season. In a statement released yesterday, PSL said they are agreeable to ZIFA plans to expand the league to 20 teams and said as part of implementing that plan, relegation has to be suspended for the season. However, ZIFA issued a statement rejecting PSL proposals to suspend relegation, saying it is contrary to the principles of the game. Scotland last night beat Denmark 4-2 to qualify for their first ever World Cup since 1998. Here are the results of UEFA World Cup qualifiers played last night. Belgium 7, Liechtenstein 0. Spain 2, Turkey 2, Wales 7, North Macedonia 1, Sweden 1, Slovenia 1, Kosovo 1, Switzerland 1, Bulgaria 2, Georgia 1, Belarus 0, Greece 0, Romania 7, San Marino 1. To conclude our Citizens Movement Radio News, here are the headlines once more. Reigns expose ZANU-PF lies about road habilitation. Mahere rips apart Takwirei for preaching about tender corruption. Mazibaba Veshanduko's bail hearing postponed again. This is the end of our bulletin. Good evening.